Hi everyone, I'm Jenny Robb and I'm the curator of the Billy Ireland Cartoon Library and Museum. It's my great pleasure to welcome you to the virtual Cartoon Crossroads Columbus 2020 Kickoff Reception. I'm standing here in the Library and Museum on the campus of The Ohio State University. Now normally on a Friday of CXC, our spaces would be full of cartoon and comic Hi everyone, I'm Jenny Robb and I'm the curator of the Billy Ireland Cartoon Library and Museum. It's my great pleasure to welcome you to the virtual Cartoon Crossroads Columbus 2020 Kickoff Reception. I'm standing here in the Library and Museum on the campus of The Ohio State University. Now normally on a Friday of CXC, our spaces would be full of cartoon and comics creators and fans. They'd be enjoying the exhibits, they'd be looking at art in our reading room, and they'd be chatting with friends old and new. Tonight, our spaces are quiet, but we're excited to try out this virtual experiment. So grab a drink and a snack and enjoy the festivities from the comfort of your own home. Now I'd like to introduce someone whose work over the last 43 years has had a tremendous impact on the cartoon and comics community. She's the founding curator of the Billy Ireland Cartoon Library and Museum and the co-founder of Cartoon Crossroads Columbus. I'm standing in the reading room that's named for her thanks to the generosity of Jeannie Schultz. It's my great pleasure to introduce Lucy Shelton Caswell.
Thank you, Jenny. From its beginnings in 2014, Cartoon Crossroads Columbus has tried to create an international showcase for the best of cartoon art in all its genres. In each CXC-related event, we seek to provide an open and supportive dialogue between creators and their audiences to foster discussions that are both fun and serious. We also support the emerging generation of cartooning talent to develop careers that are artistically and economically rewarding. The founding executive director of CXC, Tom Spurgeon, died unexpectedly last November. Tom's contributions to the field of cartooning were many, and his role in the development of CXC was vitally important. To honor Tom, and in gratitude for all that he did, CXC 2020 is dedicated to his memory. Tom's family would like to establish a named award in his honor. The CXC Awards Committee will work to accomplish this with the goal of presenting the first Tom Spurgeon Award at CXC 2021. After Tom's death, the officers and board reaffirmed our commitment to our nonprofit and voted to hire an interim executive director to lead our organization and produce CXC 2020. We are very fortunate that Jersey Droz joined us in January in this position, and we're grateful for his many contributions to this year's festival. And now CXC President Rebecca Perry Damson will introduce Jersey. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucy. I'm CXC Board President Rebecca Perry-Damson, and I want to again extend a warm and grateful welcome to everyone tuning in, and a big thank you to our special guests, exhibitors, council, and board. Special thanks to our Tech Ops Committee of Jersey and Andros, Jared Gardner, and Christian Hoffer, and to our many sponsors, especially including White Castle, Greater Columbus Arts Council, Ohio Arts Council, and the Columbus Foundation. We started our planning season with our collective hearts broken. We had no idea that things would get even harder. One thing that got us through was that we had someone in Columbus who was not only uniquely able, but willing to take on CXC 2020 on an interim basis. Jersey Drode's primary passion has always been comics. He is a creator, arts educator, and podcaster. With his wife Anne, Jersey co-authored first-second graphic novel Science Comics, Rockets, Defying Gravity. He has over a decade of experience managing a festival as the programming coordinator of the annual Ann Arbor Comic Arts Festival since 2009. He and Ann moved to Columbus in 2019 when she took a position with the Billy Ireland Cartoon Library and Museum. They immediately got involved with CXC, which they had attended annually since year one, and raised the bar on our youth programming. Jersey just gets it. This year was hard. Jersey kept us focused and on track. He has led with a compassionate, mission-based respect for our goals and our past that helped remind us why we continue to do this. Please join me in welcoming our interim executive director, Jersey Droz.
Wow, thank you, Rebecca. As someone who fell in love with this festival at its debut, I'm just glad I was able to help out when I was asked. You know, when Ann and I were driving home after attending the first year, we were overcome with excitement for what we experienced. I mean, there was something holistic and inclusive about the way CXC celebrates comics and the people who make it. And first of all, events are happening all over downtown Columbus, so it's as if the whole city is celebrating comics. So there's that. But there's also, you know, we saw superhero comics writers, editorial cartoonists, kidlit authors, graphic medicine authors, zine makers, risograph mini comics makers, and autobio journal cartoonists all at the same after parties. And nobody thought it was weird, which is like, we all know that comics can be a solitary endeavor. And even when we do find peers to connect with, the comics industry can be very siloed. Sometimes it can even be a bit tribal. Now, and maybe, you know, it's that this genre or this format just isn't your thing, and that's fair enough. But almost everyone that I've ever talked to who loves comics has a story of the moment that they were just gripped by the medium, as if some kind of aesthetic arrest happens, and they're never the same after that. Now, if one form of comics can whip you up in that way, then it stands to reason that a little bit of curiosity will open up opportunities for you to get more of that buzz. And that's why I'm so grateful for what CXC started. Thanks to founders Lucy Shelton Caswell, Jeff Smith, Vijaya Iyer, Tom Spurgeon, and all the partners and council members, we all received an inviting space where all comics, all the good people who make them, and all the good people who share enthusiasm for them are celebrated. So, of course, I am proud to help out. How could I say no? Now we have some awards to announce, and this is another aspect of CXC that I just find so darned healthful. There are 3 awards. 1 elevates a promising talent early in their journey. 1 celebrates a creator who is reshaping the industry. And 1 pays tribute to someone who achieved mastery in the medium. First, we'll announce the Transformative Work Award. And this award honors creators who have made significant impact on the direction or quality of the comics community or industry. And CXC has named Nate Powell, Andrew Iden, and the late Congressman John Lewis as people who have done precisely that.
Hi, everybody. Please ignore my cat. That's Bruce. He'll be here. I want to say thank you so much for the honor of receiving the Transformative Work Award for the March Trilogy, along with my collaborators, Andrew Iden and the late, great Congressman John Lewis. This is dedicated fully in his spirit, in his memory, in his name, in the hopes that we would bring his account, his lessons forward and continue to play some kind of a role in revitalizing this history and also normalizing and urging mass, popular, disciplined, non-violent protest against rising white supremacy and authoritarianism. The stakes could not possibly be higher. It's still wild to me that working on a comic project can have such a deep impact. But the real test here is impacts, in the days which lay ahead, impact in a future that's unwritten, and the role that we may each play in that unwritten future. So thank you. We're going to keep on doing our best. We've got a lot of work ahead of us, and we plan to bear the torch and be true to John Lewis's vision, his ideals, and carry on in the spirit of love. We all miss him so much. So do I. So does Andrew. Thank you. Bye.
Next, we'll announce the Master Cartoonist Award. The recipients of this award are chosen for their significant and sustained artistic accomplishment. These are people who show us what comics can be. And CXC has chosen Diane Newman to receive the 2020 Master Cartoonist Award.
Hi, I'm Diane Newman. I've had a long career in comics and editing going back to the early 70s. The recognition that CXC is giving me with this award means a lot. It's a great honor. Thank you very much.
Lastly, we have the Emerging Talent Award. Now, usually this award is announced later in the weekend and on the expo floor, with Jeff and Vijaya surprising an unsuspecting cartoonist with a giant novelty check and a real one. Now, obviously, we couldn't do that this year, but we did figure out a way to surprise Gabby Metzler, the winner of the Emerging Talent Award. I asked Gabby to meet me on Zoom for a quick interview spotlighting local artists.
Gabby's a Columbus cartoonist, and she's really good. And we looked on her website just before we came out here. We saw that she's actually got a couple of awards to her name.
Oh yeah,
yeah. She got like the CCAD awards and stuff like that.
That's true. I did get good grades, which is probably not supposed to be true.
Well, I don't know about that.
I think
well, actually, Gabby, Vijaya and I are here because we think you should have a third award.
What?
Every year, we present an award to a cartoonist who's young and starting out, an emerging artist, and we like to present to say you're doing a good job.
That's awesome.
So you are. So I'm going to let Vijaya show you. It comes with money. It comes with unfettered money. Vijaya.
So I just want to say I read your story online and it is terrific. And I really think that we really want you to do more. So we
That's
are
awesome.
presenting you with this check. Can you see it?
So-
Is it right? So hopefully we can see more of your stories, and you are well deserved.
Yes, this check has no what do you call it? Hooks.
No, but make a graphic note.
Except
Yeah.
use this money in any way you want. We don't care. You pay your bills, pay what. But all we want you to do is make more comics. We love it.
These are going to be the sloppiest remarks because I literally in no way mentally prepared for that. I've seen people
That's what
win
we
that
like.
award before.
That's what we think is fun.
Well, that is so cool because I actually got my first freelance comics gig that I can't even talk about, and it ended yesterday, and I was like actually really depressed because I'm like, am I gonna get more gigs? And so this is crazy.
You might get more gigs.
You will.
I might get more
You're gonna
gigs.
get more gigs. Yeah.
And I love Columbus. I love doing Pestilence. I wanted to do Pestilence because I want just to have people see what a good scene it is, because we all know each other, and I just think more people could enjoy it. I guess we all want growth, but then with Pestilence I found that it was a deepening effect with my peers and stuff, and I started hanging out with them more regularly. So both deep and wide, I love Pestilence and I miss it. It's so stressful. It's not hard, but it's stressful. So I love doing it, and it's so nice that you guys appreciate it.
Please give a round of applause to this year's CXC Award winners. Now, we do have one more award to announce, and for that, I will turn things back over to Jenny Robb of the Billy Ireland Cartoon Library and Museum.
Congratulations to all the awardees. We have one more very special award. The Billy Ireland Cartoon Library and Museum has a long-standing partnership with the Association of American Editorial Cartoonists. And one of the ways that we collaborate is on the John Loker Award. So let's hear more about that award and meet the winner.
Hi everyone, my name is Dan Knott and I've been managing the Loker Award for the past few years. The Loker Award is a national award for political cartoons and comics by emerging cartoonists aged 18 to 25. And over the past few years, we've recognized artists who work in single-panel cartoons, animation, and long-form commentary. The Loker Award was established in 1986 by the Association of American Editorial Cartoonists in the memory of John Loker. And every year we rotate judges, and this year we had an amazing panel, including Pia Guerra, Keith Knight, and Jen Sorensen. In addition to our winner and runner-up, the judges highlighted 3 notable submissions: Mika Perkins Johnson, who submitted an animation, Sam Nakahira, who submitted a series of short comics essays about US history, and Edward Wilson, who submitted editorial cartoons published on Instagram. Our runner-up was Tom Coote, who submitted a series of beautifully drawn editorial cartoons. And now I will hand it over to Kevin Sears to announce our winner.
I'm pleased to announce that our winner for the John Loker Award this year is Catherine Gong. Catherine is a graphic designer, illustrator, and cartoonist based in San Francisco. And she said that in her covert rebellion against prejudice, her weapon of choice is satire, so a kindred spirit to all us cartoonists. The Loker judges found Catherine's work demonstrated a range of commentary, from strong and poignant to precise and funny, and all skillfully drawn with a unique voice. And if you check out her website, you'll see she's a very talented artist with a strong sense of design. And we're very happy to acknowledge her good work, to assist her in her covert rebellion, and welcome her to the Association of American Editorial Cartoonists.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm Catherine, and I am completely shocked and absolutely honored to have won this year's award. I had only started cartooning last semester for a class, but I very quickly realized how much I loved making people question their socio-political climate. And I just want to thank the teacher of said class, notable cartoonist Antoneus, for encouraging me, for teaching me that it's okay to voice my opinions, and ultimately for pushing me to submit my work to this competition. This opened so many doors for me, and I am incredibly grateful and very excited to keep cartooning. So once again, thank you so much, and I look forward to the convention when it happens.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Catherine.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Caitlin McGurk, Associate Curator and Assistant Professor at the Billy Ireland Cartoon Library and Museum. We have a special treat to kick things off this evening, a toast from the curator of the Ernie Bushmiller Museum and Research Center, which is located in an undisclosed location inside of comedy writer and producer Tom Gammel's house in Altadena, California. Tom is one of my favorite people, and he is the creator of the comic strip Doozies, and has worked on The Simpsons, Seinfeld, Late Night with David Letterman, SNL, Monk, It's Gary Shandling's Show, Futurama, basically most of the greatest shows that have shaped a generation of humorists. Tom is also a longtime friend of the Billy Ireland Cartoon Library and Museum, where he serves on our advisory committee. Since he couldn't be here in person with us today, he sent along this greeting. Take it away, Tom.
Hello, I'm Tom Gamble.
And I'm Ernie Bushmiller.
And we're coming to you tonight from the Ernie Bushmiller Museum and Research Center in Altadena, California.
What the hell am I doing in Altadena, California?
We're thrilled to see your lineup of guests for CXC 2020. These talented artists have had cartoons appear in publications like The Nib, The Toast, The Nose, Catapult, and Bitch magazine.
So nobody reads the Saturday Evening Post anymore?
Here at the Bushmiller, we're still close to the public, but have had many exciting recent acquisitions. like this Nancy and Sluggo blues guitar.
Look at Sluggo rock out.
And this Nancy talking doll. Pull the string and hear her speak.
Why is this grown man playing with dolls?
That's a fair question.
Busted.
Here's a photo of Ernie and Alex Raymond on a panel for the Red Cross in Stamford, Connecticut. Let's take a closer look at Ernie.
Gamble, I told you to keep that photo under wraps. Of all the nerve, I'll show you.
Tonight, in honor of Billy Ireland, we are toasting you all with our own special Irish whiskey, available in the gift shop. And here's to next year, when hopefully we'll all be together in Ohio, when we can say, it sure is nice to see things normally again. Here's to you, CXC 2020.
CXC 2020? Isn't that the drug they shot into Windsor McKay so he'd have all those crazy dreams?
Gee, I never really thought of that.
6 feet, kid.
Oh, right, yes, sorry. 6 feet away.
1918. Now that was a pandemic.
And we are now officially coming to you live from Columbus. We've got with us people who are also coming from Canada, North Carolina, and Brazil for the game that we're about to play. And I just want to give one last thanks to Tom, as well as his writing partner, Max Pross, and Sean Kelly for helping make that video happen. So Jenny Robb is with me. You missed her intro before. Hi, Jenny.
Hello.
And we are excited to kick off this reception with our very first game of a Pictionary-like game, a non-trademarked Pictionary game that we're calling Paper Charades. Our contestants today are Keith Knight, who is the creator of the K Chronicles and the only cartoonist that I'm aware of with a TV show based on his life, Hulu's recently debuted series Woke. Kate Beaton will also be playing. She is the award-winning cartoonist behind Hark a Vagrant and the author of multiple books, including King Baby and Princess and the Pony. Fabio Moon, coming to us from Brazil, is a multi-Eisner Award winner, best known for his work on Casanova with his twin brother Gabriel Ba and writer Matt Fraction. And last but not least, of course, is our CXC Festival artistic director and the creator of a little comic called Bone, Jeff Smith.
Hey guys. So as Caitlin said, we're calling this Paper Charades. It's a Pictionary-like game. We'll basically be providing prompts to our four cartoonists here. They'll have about 5 seconds to think about what they're going to draw, and then they will have 1 minute, and I'm going to be timing with this little timer right here to actually draw. We're inviting all of you in to respond with what you think these artists are drawing in chat, and Caitlin and I will be monitoring the chat and saying what some of you are guessing. And then as soon as we see somebody get it right, we'll call that out. So we're hoping that this is going to go smoothly and our technical difficulties are behind us. Caitlin?
Okay, so as Jenny said, we're going to try to fit in as many rounds as we can. We only have about 15 or 20 minutes to play, but each round has a theme to it, and each cartoonist will have one turn in each round. So the theme of round one is CXC in-person weekend. So if you've attended a CXC in person here in Columbus before, you want to keep in mind the kind of stuff that you would be interacting with or seeing while you're here in town. And we're going to start with Keith Knight drawing first. So
wait. Why me first? Like, why don't you go alphabetical? My name is perfectly situated in the middle, so I can let someone else screw up, and I can just learn from
too
there.
bad. We have selected you, and I am sending you your prompt privately right now, Keith.
Okay.
Let me know when you have received it.
That's the price of fame, Keith.
Okay.
Jenny will start the timer whenever you're ready, and we're going to see if our audiences can guess.
Okay. Ready?
Ready. Go.
All right, someone's guessing newspaper. Whoa. Bed, pins, pinball, bedtime, pinball machine, arcade. We have a winner.
Yeah.
Hey.
There you go. Let me finish my asteroids.
Wow.
And then I was going to do a quarter machine here, right here, like for the dollar that never works in there.
So for all of you who are watching along from home, I just want you to know that we have upwards of 1,000 people watching right now, and that is really exciting for us. But bear with us, that means this chat is pretty crazy. So congratulations.
Natalie Hornshaw was the first person to guess it correctly. Is that what you see, Caitlin?
I'm seeing Carrie Kazale.
Oh.
Where are they from? Where are they from?
Not sure. We can't tell. So congratulations,
Carrie and Natalie,
wherever you're from, Carrie. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and erase our board here. And Keith, I have to say that was really impressive. That was a good drawing.
I especially like the dollar into quarters changer. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So now we are moving on to our second contestant here, Kate Beaton. Are you ready, Kate? I'm going to send you your prompt. Let me know when you have received it, and Jenny will start.
Okay.
Are you ready?
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Okay, Beaton. People are guessing snowstorm. House, tent, car crash, sand, UFO, umbrella.
Oh my God, it's hard to draw.
Museum.
Yeah.
Hey. Oh wait, no, someone else has to guess it.
Yeah,
No, I can't say.
and the winner is Mr. RJ Casey.
Oh my God. And then some protesters with a sign that says decolonize.
Not ours.
You gotta have a pushed over statue. You gotta have a pushed over.
It's the right thing to do. It is the right thing to do. Send
So
those.
can I not draw on her thing?
You can.
How come I'm not doing it? Because I really want to.
You can.
Oh, I'm on some kind of eraser mode or something.
Well, you probably chose
that's
the
right.
eraser.
So I'm gonna go ahead and erase us here, because next up we're gonna have Jeff draw. You ready, Jeff?
Yes.
All right, let me clear the board. All right, Jeff, I am sending you your prompt. Let me know when you have received it. And Jenny will start the timer.
Hold on, I'm not seeing anything. Oh wait, there it is.
Now, keep in mind, if there's more than one word, you can draw them separately.
Boy. Okay, yeah, good idea. Thank you. I'm going to do that.
All right, you ready to go, Jeff?
I'm ready.
All right, we're starting the timer.
Oh.
We're getting Red Dragon, quiche,
Whoa.
box, reading, newspaper,
Comic book.
graphic novel.
Oh my God, it's a.
Oh, someone got it. Someone got it. We got, the answer is comics fan.
Yeah.
Very good.
Was Jason S.
Very fast.
Jason S. We forgot to mention that the prize is bragging rights. So take that to the bank. All right, so Fabio, if you're ready, you're our next contestant, and this is going to be the last turn in round one. So
Okay. The timer to go down because Jeff was so fast.
Yeah,
that was lightning speed.
All right, let me clear the board here. And Fabio, I just sent you your prompt, so let us know when you're ready.
This is so hard. Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Blank screen, somebody guessed.
This is one of my favorites of CXC weekend when it gets to happen in person.
So I just want to point out again how amazing it is that we can be in 3 different countries and all playing together.
Karaoke, somebody got it.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And the winner was the wonderful John Chad, one of my old colleagues from the Center for Cartoon Studies. Hi, John Chad. Thanks for watching.
John Chad
Well,
and karaoke.
yeah, I guess karaoke happens a lot at this convention.
Exactly.
Karaoke
Yeah.
happens a lot at comics conventions late at night.
So we are going to move on to the next round. These are flying by, so we might actually get to fit quite a few in. So the theme of the next round, and we're kind of stepping things up a notch as far as difficulty, sorry, is comic book tropes, okay? And I'm just going to change up the order here, and this time we're going to start with Jeff Smith. You ready, Jeff?
I'm ready. I'm not very often intimidated, but this group here, this is a power cartoonist group, I got to tell you.
It is.
All right, I'm ready. Where's my little prompt?
I just sent it to you. So for those watching, again, the theme of this round is comic book tropes.
All right. Do I start? All right.
Go ahead.
Batman.
We've got, I'm guessing, funnies, fart jokes, jokes, poots. Someone got it already. Okay, well done.
Someone got laughing gas?
Someone got laughing gas. Quinn Cooper. Congratulations.
Wait, what was his name?
Quinn Cooper.
Oh, okay.
All right. Wow. Okay, let's move on to, let's go to Keith next.
All right. Okay, I'm ready.
Ready? All right. I'm sending you your prompt. You got it?
Yes.
All right. Let us know when you're ready, and Jenny will start the timer.
Oh, you got to clear the thing, right? You got to clear out the drawing.
Yep. Sorry. Hold on. There we go. All right.
Okay, ready? Go.
Cave, underpass, turtle.
What could this be?
It's a baseball bat in a cave.
Someone guessed big hat, which I think is hilarious. Oh, we got it. Bat cave. We got it.
Bat cave.
All right. So Ben Bender got it correct. Congratulations, Ben. All right.
Ben Bender. I'm actually connected. That's my fake name on the other side. I'm guessing my own drawings. I'm Ben Bender.
I met a Ben Bender recently, and that's somebody's real name. That's a cool name.
All right, let's go to Fabio next.
Okay.
I'm sending you your prompt. There you go. Let us know when you're ready.
The timer is actually not ready.
Okay.
So you get an extra few seconds.
Wow. Well, we're being timed?
With an old-fashioned sand timer.
Oh.
But I have to say, so far, people have gotten it before the timer even went, so.
Hand, Kira, sci-fi, drowning, Borat Simpson, jazz hands, magic, portal. Oh, someone came close. Not yet though. Oh, someone got it. All right. The answer was superpowers. And it looks like Jeff Ritchie is the winner. Well done. I love that drawing.
That looks like fighting off the coronavirus.
That is a beautiful drawing. All right, Kate, you're next. Let me clear the board here. And all right, I'm sending you your prompt now.
So Pete, do we know yet if there's going to be a second season of Woke?
Okay.
All right, keep starting. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, this is adorable already. People are guessing Batman, Catwoman, animal, cat love interest, disguise, internet cats, Garfield.
Invisible drawing? You're moving? Ah.
Oh, it's definitely Batman.
I mean, it's got some.
Oh, it's so great, Kate.
I love your drawing, man. I love everything you draw.
Someone guessed furries, strongman, underpants on the outside.
Yeah, he should have definitely have some of these going on.
Sexy hero, vigilante.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my god. That's quite the G.
Muscle. Strength. Hero.
You're almost there.
Sidekick.
Oh, wait, did someone guess sidekick?
Fabio.
I didn't say.
Fabio won.
Fabio won that one.
You know what? Actually, a few people got sidekick in the chat too. It's just wow. There are so many people watching right now, which is so cool that it's hard to.
Oh, his underwear don't go over his butt.
What? No, he had he totally had like some
But
kind
you know what? I think the person who won in chat is our friend Laura Park, which is awesome.
Laura.
Wow.
We'll be seeing Laura later today during the tour, and I want to suggest, Caitlin, that we not tell people what the category is this time.
Okay.
Maybe make it a little harder.
Is it Fabio Batman?
Kind of difficult. For this next category. We're not telling them anything?
Let's see how it goes.
Okay. All right.
It kind of looks like my baby when she's dropped a load.
Oh, we're
But
coloring.
it's still beautiful.
What are these? Are these like dreads on Batman? What's he got
Well,
going on?
someone said Fabio, so I just went there.
It's probably my Long Island accent. Fabio. All right. Fabio.
Fabio.
Out in Brazil. If you're ready, I'm going to have you go first for the next turn.
Okay.
And yeah, we're not going to tell anyone what the theme is.
Okay.
So it might be a little confusing, but we'll see. I think this is going to be fun. Ready?
Yes.
Sending you your prompt now.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Go.
Spooky facial expressions. Scooby-Doo.
Oh,
Jellyfish.
lady.
Batgirl.
Beautiful lady. But she's a cat woman.
Cat burglar.
Cat head. Cat Rorschach lady.
Cosplayer. Lady. Leopard.
Mm-hmm.
Disguise. This is a tricky one.
Remember, you can draw one of the words.
No.
Hey, somebody got it.
What?
That somebody is John Chat. Again. Amazing. It's
What?
Ghost World.
Oh.
What was it?
Ghost World.
Oh.
So now that you know that this one was Ghost World, I think we can say that the general theme is going to be titles of graphic novels. And we only have a couple more minutes to play. So let's try to get a few more turns in. Keith, let's have you go next.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
So I'm going to clear the board here.
Keith, can you answer my question I asked earlier? Are you able to?
Oh, well, yeah. What's the question?
Is there going to be a second season of Woke?
There will be a second season of Woke if everybody watches it. over and over again, watches the complete series several times, and then posts it on and tells other people to watch it. So
I'll tell people right now, watch it.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. I mean, I whizzed through it. It has a great season ending too. Very good. Watch it. I'm going to watch it again.
Excellent. Okay, am I ready to go?
Yeah, this will be the last turn. So I just sent you yours if you're ready.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, go.
Graphic novel.
Oh, I love where you're going with this.
Roof head.
Someone got it already. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So the answer was Fun Home, and the winner.
Wow. Well done. Well done, Mr. Moon.
Michael Lisserand, the author of the Crazy Cat Harriman biography.
Excellent.
Michael.
Okay.
Wow, that was that went by very quickly and was so much fun. Thank you guys for playing.
Now it's over. We're just getting started.
Yeah, man.
That was it.
Tradition.
I wish we could keep going, but we've got to move to our next thing for the evening. And of course, that is our virtual tour, behind the scenes tour of the Billy Ireland Cartoon Library Museum. So thank you to all four of you. You
Who's that? Who's that, Keith?
This is Julian. The
Hey,
next
Julian.
cartoonist in the family.
Hey, Julian.
Hi, Julian. Keith, thank you. Thank you so much. It was wonderful. Thank you, Kate. Thank you. Fabio.
Welcome to the Billy Ireland Cartoon Library Museum at The Ohio State University. I'm Jenny Robb, and I'm the head curator.
And I'm Caitlin McGurk, associate curator.
We're so excited to bring you this very special social distance pandemic version of our behind the scenes tour.
Even though we can't all be together here in person, Jenny and I, with the help of some very special guests, are going to do our best to recreate that special behind the scenes tour magic for you. Should we get started?
I'm standing here in a lobby in front of the drawing board of our namesake, Billy Ireland. Those of you who have been here will recognize the familiar echo from our lobby. Billy Ireland was the Columbus Dispatch cartoonist from 1898 until 1935. He did political cartoons and also a weekly feature called The Passing Show that focused on current events. In this particular one that we're showing here from 1916, I love the title panel. All of his title panels were always unique and they were always very creative. This particular one shows The Passing Show as each letter is a germ. And in the bottom right-hand corner, you see a family trying to avoid being in range of the sneezes of the father because they don't want to get the grip. Perhaps he should have been wearing a mask.
Here we are right outside of our stacks, aka the vault, aka where we keep all of the awesome stuff in our collection. This is a really special space. At a special collection or an archive, these areas where the collection is held are not open to the public. You can only access this if you work here or if you're on a special behind the scenes tour like this one. In order to preserve this stuff forever, this space kind of functions like a refrigerator for artwork. It's entirely climate controlled, meaning the temperature and humidity are kept at a specific level monitored 24 hours a day, and that slows down the natural decay process of the artwork. As a result, it also means that it's pretty chilly back there, so I'm gonna do a Mr. Rogers and put my sweater on before we go in. Also, to help preserve the quality of the artwork, the whole space is lit with non-UV ray lighting. That prevents any kind of extra light damage that you might see from sun exposure. Also, while we're holding original art, Jenny and I are going to be wearing these cute little Mickey Mouse gloves. These cotton gloves help protect the artwork from the natural oil on our hands. Another important thing to know when taking a tour of this space is that this space is really high security. So when I swipe us through the door, we're going to have exactly 60 seconds to get through. Otherwise, the campus police are called. And this is to make sure that we have extra theft precaution, but it also allows us to have just an extra level of precaution over the climate control, making sure there's no excessive airflow exchange. So if you're ready, we're going to swipe on through and head back there.
Welcome to our collection's storage vault, which you can see we've designed to hold both book and print material, as well as original cartoon and comics art that we house in these wonderful flat files here. We have over 300,000 original cartoons in our collection. But the first thing I want to show you today is from the Milton Caniff collection. Milton was our founding donor, and the reason why this library is here at The Ohio State University. Milton was known as the Rembrandt of the comics, and you can certainly see why. He's best known for the newspaper comic strips Terry and the Pirates, and also Steve Canyon, both of which were masterpieces of visual storytelling. Check out this brilliant cinematic panel designs in this October 19th, 1941 Sunday page. Caniff varied the camera angles from close-ups to wide shots, even bird's eye view panels. He also added visual variety by using silhouettes as well as blank backgrounds in some of the panels. His use of blacks shows his mastery of chiaroscuro. And finally, of course, a cliffhanger in the last panel, compelling the reader to buy the next day's newspaper.
Here we are in front of our compact storage shelving. This is where you keep our collection of 45,000 books and 67,000 serials. It's called compact storage because we're able to double the amount of rows we have by limiting the aisle space and moving the shelves. Let's see it in action. Here's an example of the kind of thing you might find in one of our 116 rows of books. This is Multicolor, the weekly satirical magazine from Mexico that debuted in 1911 and was chock full of gorgeous illustrations by cartoonists like Ernesto Garcia Cabral. Whether it's a historic periodical like this one or a recent graphic novel, you're likely to find it here at the Billy Ireland.
Before the pandemic put so many projects on hold, Lucy Caswell and I were co-curating an exhibit of the political and social satire of Walt Kelly's Pogo. We're very fortunate here to have Walt Kelly's archives, and the exhibit will include art from that collection, as well as art from Gary Trudeau's personal collection. Gary, of course, is the creator of the comic strip Doonesbury. And just before the pandemic lockdown occurred in March, Gary's Pogos had arrived. The dailies are in this beautiful custom-made box. He sent Sundays as well. And I'm really excited to announce here tonight that Gary has just informed us that he has decided to donate his whole collection to the Billy Ireland Cartoon Library Museum. So we are so excited and so grateful to Gary for this amazing donation of 75 original Pogo strips. So who better than Gary to talk about this daily from 1962 and its connection to these worthless push stamps. Gary?
Hi, I'm Gary Trudeau. This is one of my very favorite Pogo strips in the collection because so much of what made Walt Kelly distinctive is present here. The unparalleled draftsmanship honed during his time at Disney, the jazzy, unpredictable dialogue, and the devastating caricatures, such as the canine Castro and the porcine Khrushchev we see here. Uncanny likenesses of world leaders trapped in the bodies of humble farm animals. In this strip, the two cunning communists discuss an inane plot to disrupt the capitalist financial system by flooding the marketplace with counterfeit stamps. Kelly was commenting on the trading stamp craze that had spread across the country. The most famous of these stamps were called green stamps. Kelly's were called puce stamps, and he actually made them available in blocks of 9 to the public. The fake stamps were a gentle send-up of what Kelly obviously regarded as a scam. But having said that, I should add that the beauty of Kelly's whimsical social satire is it really didn't matter if you knew what he was up to. His delightfully unhinged characters were so entertaining in their own right that they were fun to follow even if you didn't know they were brilliant parodies. Kelly worked on multiple levels, leaving no one out of the fun.
Thank you, Gary. We're currently planning to open our exhibit Into the Swamp, the political and social satire of Walt Kelly's Pogo, on January 23rd, 2021. Of course, that depends on how things go with the pandemic. So let's take a look in this drawer here. This is one of my favorites because it contains original art by Charles Schulz. And this is a fairly rare piece. This is an original of a strip called It's Only a Game, which was single panel gags that he drew in 1958. And this is a fabulous original from 1951. You can see it's the old style Schulz. Schulz, of course, known for using actual musical notation in his strips. So if you knew how to play the piano, you could play right along with Schroeder.
There is no such thing as a behind-the-scenes tour of the Billy Ireland Cartoon Library and Museum without a stop to worship at the altar of the great Winsor McCay. We are really lucky to have a huge collection of Winsor McCay's original art, not just some of his political cartoons, some work from Hungry Henrietta and from Tale of the Rarebit Fiend, as well as some of his Gertie the Dinosaur originals, but also a very substantial collection of his original art from Little Nemo and Slumberland. This debuted in 1905 and is one of the most quintessential early American comics. You can see in this page some of the things that McCay was best known for. His use of really creative panel designs, his thick outline around characters that almost kind of predicts what he would later do with cell animation. And one of the coolest things about this particular page is this handwriting right over here. This is McCay's actual handwriting, just a little note that he's making to the colorist, indicating where he wants the different colors to go that would be applied during the printing process. So telling them to add a lot of blues and purples since it's a snow scene, things like that. It's really awesome to see these really personal touches on a piece of original art, especially from someone as legendary as McCay. The Billy Ireland is home to over 40,000 comic books, some of which you can see behind me and some in front of me. We store these in acid-free envelopes and acid-free boxes to protect them. Here are 2 comic book pages that will make any comics fan swoon. This is a 2-page spread from Green Lantern Green Arrow number 76, written by Denny O'Neil and drawn by Neil Adams. This civil rights era comic is considered by some to be part of the defining shift into more socially aware Bronze Age of comics. It shows an African-American character confronting Green Lantern about why he has never once used his powers to fight the racism and discrimination faced by people of color in America. Here's another treasure from our collection, a Curt Swan Superman page. Our CXC special guest, Gene Yang, author of American-Born Chinese, Dragon Hoops, and Superman Smashes the Klan, is a huge Superman fan. Let's see what Gene has to say about this page.
Hey everybody, great to see you all virtually. This is Gene. And through the magic of computers, I can actually look at that page right now, that page from Action Comics number 445, drawn by Curt Swan and inked by Kirk Schaffenberger. So let's take a look. The first thing that I notice is the beautiful varied line. I think that is the work of both of the Kurtz, right? Both the penciler and the inker had to contribute to that. And in panel 3, that Superman, that is the classic Superman. I think most of us, when we think of Superman in our heads, we are thinking of the Curt Swan Superman. That is how classic his drawings are, He really defined Superman as an icon. The other thing that strikes me about this page is that crowd scene in that last panel. Dude, I just got done drawing a book about basketball called Dragon Hoops. So because it's about basketball, there are lots of crowds watching basketball. And I can tell you, I both wrote and drew that book. But when I was drawing it, artist me really hated writer me for writing all those crowd scenes. So I can't imagine what Curt Swan was thinking when he was approaching this crowd scene. I mean, that's pretty intense. And the most impressive thing about it is he doesn't phone it in, not at all. He really puts in the work to get that texture. So it is a believable crowd. I mean, what he could have done had he been a lazier cartoonist was he could have just defined the edges of the crowd and drawn a few heads here or there. But that's not what he does. Then that's why we consider Curt Swan one of the best, right? That is why he is considered one of the classic Superman artists, because he doesn't just draw Superman well, he puts Superman into a believable world. That is something that I'm gonna need to think about next time I have to draw a crowd scene. Well, thanks a lot for inviting me to do this. It was super fun.
The oldest items in our collection date back to the 17th century. This huge scrapbook that I have here contains cartoons, illustrations, clippings, and more, and it was put together during Jane Austen's lifetime. What you're seeing here are 4 color caricatures by the master James Gilray, and they were created in 1804. Even before that, William Hogarth, who's been called the father of modern caricature, was creating proto-comics. And these were sequential morality tales meant to educate the public. Now, Laura Park was a CXC guest in 2017. Let's hear what she has to say about Hogarth's 4 stages of cruelty.
Hi, I am looking at the first stage of cruelty, an etching by William Hogarth, who is a narrative sequential image maker that I like a lot. This series is great. It's really lurid, heavily moralizing in a kind of questionable way. The first stage of cruelty, it's a scene with a bunch of children torturing animals in various degrees. And because he's condensed it all into one frame, it just seems like a psychopath's corner. Like, you got cats being thrown out of windows, birds being blinded, a dog is being impaled. And it reminds me of another of his I like, which is the Gin Lane and Beer Alley, where, a bit like Bruegel, like the scenes of what common people look like are so horrifying. But this image, the thing about Hogarth that is really interesting to me is that they're kind of like proto-comics, because he usually made images within a series telling a story. Maybe he was thinking less in comics, more in terms of theater or staging, but they function as comics to me in this way where you can still look at them with some humor and admiration. Like, you can still read the story that they're telling now. So happy to look at it.
How gorgeous are these Technicolor rows of manga magazines? Here at OSU, we are lucky to have one of the largest collections of manga outside of Japan, adding up to over 20,000 pieces. Let's hear more about our manga collection from our resident manga expert, Dr. Kay Clopton, who recently received her PhD from Ohio State for a dissertation written specifically about sound effects in manga. Kay?
Thanks, Caitlin. The Billy Island has a wonderful amount of manga and other materials in our manga collection. We have, on top of the manga that we have Sugoroku, we have, which are game boards, we have Emaki scrolls. These are story scrolls that are the precursors to manga, and we even have a cosplay costume from a 90s shoujo anime. But one of the coolest things we have is actually an art piece from Tezuka Osamu, the godfather of manga. It's actually an unprinted piece of his that was scoured in the streets of Japan, featuring a young man who's being bullied for shining shoes of US servicemen during the US occupation. The reason why I like this piece so much is because of all the sound effects. There's the plane that's flying overhead that's going Gion, and you also have the sound of his father shining someone's shoes, and he's shining so hard, goshi, 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 that he actually shines the guy's boot away. And this is some of the stuff that's just in our collection. I think it's wonderful. I can't say enough about it.
One of the greatest resources we have here for our researchers is over 6,000 boxes of archival material. We have here kind of a random selection that we pulled out, highlighting some various collections. Over here, check out these fan letters, including some hate mail, as well as sympathy cards, written to cartoonist Lynn Johnston, the creator of For Better or For Worse, when she wrote the death of the family dog Farley into the strip. Oh, and this is Will Eisner's high school yearbook, for which he did the illustrations. we have 3 childhood sketchbooks by the creator of Prince Valiant, Hal Foster. This one was made when he was only 11 years old. We have a large collection of Rube Goldberg's bronze sculptures. Here's a letter written by Robert Crumb to which he affixed a lock of his own hair back in the 1960s. This is a Civil War era envelope depicting Abraham Lincoln in a political cartoon. This is a spicy fan letter written from literary great John Steinbeck to cartoonist Milton Caniff about his feelings for the character the Dragon Lady from Terry and the Pirates. And speaking of Caniff, one of the strangest items in our collection, this is Caniff's life mask. Lastly, a bronzed baby shoe belonging to Eldon Dedini, the great Playboy and New Yorker cartoonist. One of the largest new collections we've received is the Jay Lynch collection. Jay was generous to donate us his entire estate, which included all of his archival materials, his original art, and an amazing run of fanzines from the underground cartoonist era. These fanzines were created by people like Jay Lynch, Skip Williamson, and even Art Spiegelman as a teenager back in the 1960s.
Caitlin, do you remember when Art Spiegelman was here and he showed us how he made this with a hectograph?
Yeah.
It was literally a plate of gelatin, like unflavored, brackish, clear brownish Jello. And if you worked with one of the same kind of carbons you used for a rexograph, the kind that was purpling for the test, you could make a reverse, you could make a copy that would then reverse copy on the gelatin, and then you could put pieces of paper against the gelatin. Enough of the purple dye would come off to make some kind of copy. And like I said, you can use red and blue and other second colors to a degree, but it wasn't good for too many copies. And the way you knew your print run was done is you'd like apply this paper to the sticky Jello, pull it off, but after a certain number of copies, the Jello would come off onto the paper and it was getting a little gross, and you knew that was the end of your print run. But it was a pleasure to be able to get anything actually printed, even this way.
The comic strip Luther, created by Brumsick Brandon Jr., gave a voice to kids of color during the Civil Rights Movement and was one of the first mainstream comic strips created by an African-American man. Brandon covered topics ranging from social and racial justice, flaws in our education system, and the experience of being an inner-city kid. Let's hear from Barbara Brandon Croft, Brumsick Brandon's daughter and the creator of Where I'm Coming From, about her father's work.
Hi, guys. Thanks for inviting me. I love to talk about my dad and his comic strip Luther. I love the collection you have here at the Billy Ireland because he selected them. And they told the story that he wanted to tell, and that is of what is it like for a kid to grow up in an underserved community and still have hope. The one that comes to mind is the one when you see Luther in Hardcore climbing up on a car to have a talk. And then by the time of their short exchange, the car is completely stripped. No wheels, no lights, no doors, no windows, and none of it fazed the boys. I mean, this is the kind of social commentary that my dad did best. Yeah, there's so many more to see. Hope you check them out.
The Bill Watterson collection is one of our most popular. It includes almost all of the original art from his phenomenally successful newspaper comic strip, Calvin and Hobbes, including examples of everyone's favorite alter ego, Spaceman Spiff, the superhero Stupendous Man, and his nemesis, Babysitter Girl, Poor Rosalind, and of course classics of Calvin and Hobbes careening through the woods on a wagon or a sled. We also have Bill's color work from the Calvin and Hobbes books. Now, Raina Telgemeier, the creator of Smile, Guts, and many other bestsellers, is a huge fan of Calvin and Hobbes. Let's hear what she has to say about this very unique 1991 Sunday strip. What we're showing here is Bill's original, as well as the color proof. Raina?
Hey, Jenny. Thank you for having me here today. I chose to talk about this comic strip because it's one of the examples where Bill Watterson took a concept and used it as a pun, but then went backwards and used it to talk about like art and the way that we see and the way that film works. And it was one of the first times that I encountered such stark contrast of black and white on the comics page. And that sounds funny because most comics, at least the ones that I was reading, were in black and white. So this just showed like a level of artistry that I hadn't seen elsewhere. And it really set the stage for me to appreciate black and white comics going forward in my life. And that's what I ended up making for the first half of my career too. So inspiring, really fun to look at, and also a great punchline at the end.
Thank you, Raina. I love that Sunday strip. Now let's check in with another big fan of Calvin and Hobbes, Mo Willems. Mo is the author of Knuffle Bunny, the Elephant and Piggy series, and Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus, as well as many other amazing children's books. Are you there, Mo?
Hi, I'm so excited to be here in the cabinet room of my high school years. Very
Why,
excited.
yes.
Every one of those cabinets is filled with embarrassing things that I did in my high school years. And
if you come to the Billy Ireland Cartoon Library Museum, we'll show them all to you.
Absolutely. That's why they have all those pressure locks and the temperature and all that. They want to retain the smells and the textures of those terrible, terrible years.
Well, Mo, this is reminding me of when you came here. I think it was back in 2016, and
Great
got a
trip.
tour of our behind-the-scenes vault here. As I recall, I think we exhausted you. I think we spent about 3 hours back here looking at art.
It was amazing. We were there. It was Cher was there. It was Trix. Trix was there. He was there, and also Hillary Price. And we got really excited about seeing different stuff. And then one thing led to another, and we ended up with all of those cat drawings.
Klebon.
Yeah, the Caliban stuff. Yeah, it was amazing. Really, really great.
Let's talk about Calvin and Hobbes. Do you have a favorite strip?
I do have a favorite strip. What I would say about Calvin and Hobbes is I am grateful that I grew up in a time where Calvin and Hobbes was being made. Every day I would open up the paper and you could see the strip, which started out great, just become more and more innovative. I mean, that first Sunday where the dinosaurs come out and you've broken the grid, that was a seminal moment. And it felt like it was a live performance in a way, because you had no idea it was coming, and then you picked up the paper and there it was. So my favorite strip is a strip that's got a very sort of Schultzy feel to it. It is a daily strip that I actually saw reenacted by an actual kid on my block about a week ago. Calvin is walking, suddenly trips, falls, and then recovers by going, ta-da, as if he meant to do it. And I literally saw a little girl in our neighborhood do that exact same thing like a week ago.
Well, as it happens, I have that strip right here. Would you like to see it?
Oh, very, very much so. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna really get in here. I'm gonna move my mic. Yeah. Wow. Great. Yeah, let's go. Stay in that last panel there. I want to see the little whiteouts of that hand. I just love how, simple and easy are opposites, and the precision that you need to make it look like the ink is still wet. I mean, it really looks like this drawing was just made. Oh, can we go into the first panel, please? I feel like one of those movies, Closer. Let's see their DNA. Yeah, oh, look at the shoes. what's so great too that Calvin has, I try to do this sometimes with Piggy, is just the expression with absolutely no mouth. Just let the eye do the work. I sometimes just take out her mouth entirely, and I think it's funnier. Great. All right, can we go in? I want to look at the word trip. Look at that. I think writing is drawing. I love lettering. Wow, yeah, and look at that hand. A little tongue. What's great is look at his eyes. He hasn't really changed. He's not panicked. But he's surprised in a really funny way. Great. Wow. The little stars and the Pollocky blops. Oh, and his pencil. Look at the pencil line. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Yeah, he's really just using the pencil to rough out. He's not inking the pencil. That's just a loose guide. I don't think I could do that. My pencils, they give me a lot of guidance. Wow. Great. And look how the ta-da is almost the exact same lettering as the trip, right? There's just a continuity there. Oh, man. How big is it? Can you give me a...
It's just about, actually, I'll put my hand in the shot.
Yeah, wow.
That'll give you some perspective.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he did not draw big.
No.
That's
Even his Sundays aren't very big.
That's amazing. Yeah. Well, it helps though. I can see because that nib, you get that really, it feels like a super thick line, but it's just a small drawing. Yeah, wow. That's cool. Wow, great. Wow, thank you. That is amazing.
So thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. And I want to say congratulations. I understand you have an HBO special coming out.
Yes, there's a comedy. Thank you. I will plug my comedy special on HBO Max. Don't let the pigeon do story time. And it stars a bunch of people from SNL and the state and whatnot. And we turn my books into sketch. And we have animated on top of the performers. So there's a lot of really fun drawing in the special itself. So
that sounds awesome. I can't wait to see you.
Always great to see you. I can't wait to see you in person again. And thanks for
Thanks a lot, Mo. Bye-bye.
Take care. See you. Bye.
Here are two exciting recent acquisitions donated by MacArthur Genius Award winner Alison Bechdel. Both of these pieces are featured in our current exhibit, Ladies First, A Century of Women's Innovations in Comics and Cartoon Art. This page from her award-winning graphic novel, Fun Home, and an original from her comic strip, Dykes to Watch Out For, which premiered in alternative weekly newspapers back in 1983. Alison's work was immensely influential on an entire generation of queer cartoonists who came after her. Let's hear from an artist whose life was greatly impacted by Alison's work, Rhymes with Orange creator Hilary Price.
This Dykes to Watch Out For reminds me of a story. It's the early 1990s, and I'm living in the Bay Area of San Francisco, and I have some straight out-of-town relatives coming, and I haven't come out to them yet. But I take them to the Castro, which is the historically gay district of San Francisco, and we're walking down the hill, and by my count, there may be about a half dozen queer women walking past us, and then my relatives see this woman with short hair and a leather jacket, and they're like, a lesbian. So what I love about Dykes to Watch Out For, both in this strip and over the course of the series, is that Alison Bechdel disrupts this myth of a monolithic, homogenous lesbian society. And if you look at Holidays on Ice, you'll see 9 fully fledged characters. And they have different body shapes, they have different hair, they have different lips, they have different noses, and most importantly, they have different agendas. On an artistic and humor level, one of the things that I love about Dykes to Watch Out For is, in addition to the representation of the characters and the really snappy dialogue, Alison drops little Easter eggs in the panels.
and they're her little like side commentary as an artist. And so the one I want you to check out is the one in Mad Women Books on the shelves. It's the Harry Potter one. You don't want to miss it. Thanks, everyone.
Speaking of new acquisitions, last year we acquired a small collection of the work of Oliver Harrington. Harrington was a brilliant editorial cartoonist who worked for black press newspapers like the Chicago Defender and the Pittsburgh Courier. He's best known for his series Bootsy. He left the United States to escape racism here and moved to Europe, eventually settling in communist East Germany. He did work for the Communist Party newspaper, the Daily World. Like this editorial cartoon, Welcome to the Great Watergate Swamp, published in 1973. And this is one of the most interesting pieces in the collection. It's a rough depicting two police officers who have cornered a small black child, and they're saying, "We could say he threatened us with a knife, if we had a knife." We don't know if this cartoon was ever published. For our final items tonight, we have a very special treat. In this drawer are selections from the Richard Thompson collection. Richard was an incredible cartoonist, and he very generously gave us a large selection of his work before he passed away, including originals from the comic strip Cul-de-sac, which he drew from 2004 until 2012. Bill Watterson was a huge admirer of Richard's work. Let's hear what he has to say.
The comic strip Cul-de-sac was cut short by Richard Thompson's Parkinson's disease, so it's probably not as well known as it deserves to be. Richard died in 2016, and we lost an absolutely brilliant cartoonist. His whole career is really just wonderful to study. I admire his drawings no end. In this strip at Billy Ireland, the delightfully uncuddly grandmother, she likes to throw deviled eggs at cars. She's preparing what sounds like an awful dish for Thanksgiving as Alice opens the door and apprehensively walks the length of the kitchen, fearing an encounter with the grandmother's dog, who's the size of a bear. This is all in one lovely panel. And the thing I noticed about this is that two things I always hated drawing were architecture and furniture. But here Richard's depicted a cluttered kitchen packed with cabinets and appliances, and it looks like he had a blast. It's sure fun to look at as a result, and it's a real rebuke to the way I conceived of the problem. Also notice the blobby ink line. Richard has so much control over the runniness of his medium that he doesn't even need to control it. His line just revels in the inkiness of ink. He learned a lot from Ronald Searle, and I think he's up there with Harriman and Schultz when it comes to the beauty of his pen work. Like most of my favorite comic strips, the humor of Cul-de-sac has little to do with punchlines. Richard's eye was omnivorous. Everything he wrote and drew was very closely observed, but his eye is appreciative and it's affectionate, especially when it comes to people. His quirky characters take a while to get to know. They're not the stock types that cartoonists often use as a shorthand in this abbreviated medium. I especially love the central character of Petey, whose sensitivities are completely overwhelmed by the world. I would never have thought of a character who abhors any sort of action, but it's a wonderfully perceptive portrayal, and it's empathetic, and it's very funny. Richard had a unique and whimsical view of the world, and it just permeates every word and line that he drew. And that's the beauty and fun of his work. I think Cul-de-sac was a very unexpected late flowering of a medium that is sadly disappearing with the end of newspapers. So thank you, Richard. We miss you.
Hope you enjoyed that behind-the-scenes look at our vault. Now we're in the Lucy Shelton Caswell Reading Room, named for our founder, who started it all back in 1977 with Milton Caniff. Because OSU is a land-grant institution, that means that all of the libraries at Ohio State, as well as the special collections like the Billy Ireland, are completely open to the public. So this is the room where any of you watching right now can come in and request materials to look at. We're also a non-circulating collection, and what that means is that unfortunately you can't take a Winsor McCay original home with you for the night, but you can make an appointment, come in and look at some of your favorites, and hopefully discover some new ones.
Due to the pandemic, we have some safety precautions in place for social distancing as well as limited hours. You can visit cartoons.osu.edu to learn more.
Hi, I'm Ann Rose, Museum Coordinator here at the Billy Ireland Cartoon Library Museum. We hope that you enjoyed the tour with Jenny and Caitlin, and thanks to our special guests for making this such a wonderful experience. After being closed for many months, we're happy to welcome visitors back to the museum. For more information and to make a reservation, visit cartoons.osu.edu. And here's a sneak peek of what you'll see when you visit. In the Beeler Gallery, we have a small display of Calvin and Hobbes. In the Mort Walker Gallery, we have the Permanent Treasures exhibit featuring highlights from our collections. The Friends of the Libraries Gallery features Making Faces, portraits by John Cash. In the Robinson Gallery, we have Ladies First, a century of women's innovations in comics and cartoon art. Both Ladies First and Making Faces are planned to be on display through November 29th, 2020. Hope to see you soon.